right, we are going live on Facebook and YouTube. YouTube is already started. Facebook is starting. And here we go. We are very behind, and I'm tired, and it's after midnight, and I missed Friday. Lots of excellent excuses to not actually do good diagrams. Suck the Mishnah. If two people own a chutzner together, they cannot divide it. They cannot at least demand a division unless each of them is going to be getting 4 ames. Not a field. Each of them is going. Each of the two partners they would need to have 9-hole kav area. That is 9/2 kabin, which is 4.5. Not a garden. Each of them should get a chatzi kav, which I think is enough room to plant that much. Half of that. A chocolate and not a palace. What's a moron? Rashi chocolate I mean a palton, various types of palaces. A shevach, not a dovecote assembly thing. A talis, not a talis. A merchat, or a bathhouse. A sabad, not an olive press. A shlachen, and not a field that requires irrigation, I believe. Unless they have enough for everybody. It has a fountain within it. It's not just something which is irrigated by rain. And he's able to give it the water. Before we said a field needs 9 kabin, thing has its own irrigation thing, a fountain. You can divide it even if there's less than that. This be the rule. Anything that can be divided, and it still retains its identity. If there's less than that, you cannot demand a division. A mosai. When is this? There's a bunch of Shneim writes them, and they both don't want to do it, or at least when one of them doesn't want to. Shneim writes them. If the two of them agree to do it, you can divide something, even if you can end up with too small of an amount. But the Kisvei HaKodesh of Abishayim writes in the Echloika, but not Kisvei HaKodesh. Sifrei Tanakh, you cannot divide, you cannot cut a sefer in half. So Trashi Avilah Bebachs Mekan Yachloiku Mishum Dubai the Misneh because HaKodesh Abishayim writes in the Echloiku Tani Reisha Yachloiku Kisvei HaKodesh Chav Dal Tzfarim but you're given because we're going Sefer Torah Shalom Vikach Genaya Davar Lechatchan. It's not dividing up a set of Sfarim. It's cutting them up. Okay. Zakta Gemara. Amr of Asi, Amr B'Yechlan, Arba Amish, Amr Chutz Mishal Psachem. The 4 Amish that we're talking about does not include the area in front of the door. So when we're saying that you need 4 Amish, it's not just in the whole Chutzner, but you have to subtract the area in front of the doors. There's 4 ames in front of the opening that's necessary. You need another 4 ames for stuff. Tanya Nami like Rabbi Asi on that Chotzer. I'm sorry. In Cholkim, it's a Chotzer Bush. You need 8 for each. I have one on Tanah, but our Mishnah says Arba Amis. That's about 4. Ella to make everything stem. Shma Mina, Rabbi Asi, Shma Mina. That was the peaceful way to do it, where he says something of being a raya. But another way to set this thing up is to actually have his answer as a result of a collision between Mishnah and Brisa. Tanan, Mishnah and Chalkin is a chatzar at Sheba. Each of them needs 4. Then each need 8. Amr Biasi, Amr Biyachanan, Arba Amish, Amr Chutz, Mishal Psachem. Biasi, Amr Biyachan is going to answer the question and say the 4 in the Mishnah does not include the 4 opposite the door, and therefore it's 8. Period. Now we get to a sugya, which appears briefly in Sukkah. Machlekes Rav Huna Rav Chisda, Rav Huna Chatzim is Chalekes Lefi Psacheha. The Chatzer is divided based on the number of openings to it proportionately. Chatzer mischalekes of Psacheha. Chatzer was Shnei Batim Echamen. Suchle Shnei Psachim Chatzer Lebayis Sheni Pasuch Chatzer LePesachecha V'Chalek Chatzer V'Pe Mitzedach L'Ruven B'Nai V'Sheshimen V'Chatzer L'Chalek and Bo. Lach like a Chatzer Zeshish Psachim Netzach Shnei Chalakim Chatzer V'Echad Noitel Chalek Echad. For this, we're going to have to make a much larger chutzner. And really, the chutzner is going to be the area in front of the house. I am just building an arbitrary wall here, just to get in the way. And more arbitrary walls on the side. And one more over here. And we're going to make the chutzner a lot bigger. Here, like this. And here. Okay, gewaldig. And let me guess. That was the email from YouTube saying you're live. Mazel tov. Okay, thank you. Okay. So now we have this giant chutzner over here. But there's a catch. And the catch is that, actually, I'm going to get rid of this wall because we are going to be making this house larger. Dun, dun, dun. So to do that, I am gonna take this wall up to here. Maybe I should also move the window frame. Just maybe. Oops. Hey, what was that? And now the last thing we need to do is give it a second doorway. That's right. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have moved the window. Oh, schleboingles. What I really should do is I should take this opening and bring that here, and then take this doorway here and duplicate it. I'm not actually sure what's going to happen. Yeah, okay, this works. Okay, gewaldig. And now I'm going to make another doorway. All right, so now I think I know what's happening. There. Geschmack. Okay, so now we I probably should do something about that roof. Ready, set, and boink. Okay, so now we have two houses that are open up to this chutzner. One of them has two doors, one of them has one. So how much of the chutzner, so the father allotted one house to one son, one to the other one, how much of the chutzner do they each get? Rav Huna says it's based on the entrances into the chutzner. So this chutzner is going to end up being divided into 3 portions. And that didn't work at all. Let's do that again. Oh, and now I know why it didn't work at all. Okay, third time's going to be a charm. Here we go. So now if you see, I divided the chutzner up into 3 parts. The one who has 2 doors is going to get 2/3. The one who only has 1 door is only going to get 1/3. That is Rav Huna. Rav Chis. And Rav Chisda Amar Nesin Arba Amais L'chol Pesach Hu Pesach V'Ashar Cholkin B'Shaveh. Rav Chisda says no. Rav Chisda says each door gets 4 amais, and whatever's left is divided evenly. let's see if there's a good way to do this. Here, I'm going to make Rav Chista's view over here. Rav Chista says we're going to give 4 ames to each doorway. And there. That's 4 ames in front of the door. And we're going to... And these doors are also... they're going to get it. And whatever is left in the courtyard is now going to be divided evenly between them. Sounds good? Gewaltig. Zok the Gemara. So again, Rav Huna says it's based on how many openings. This would be Rav Huna over here. Rav Chista Amar Nisan Arba Ames Lechol Pesach uPesach Vashar Cholkin B'Shaveh. This would be Rav Chista. Tanya Kvasid to Rav Chista. We're going to bring a raya from a brisa to Rav Chista. Psachim Shebachatzer, entrances in a Chatzer Yeshlan Arba Ames. Each of them is going to be getting 4 ames. If one has 1 opening, the other one has 2. Zogt Rashi. Listen, the Pesach uPesach. Oops, Pesach dot ames le'alamin Pesach connected Pesach. The width is based on how wide the doorway is, as I did in the diagram. Okay, it looks like we're assuming the opening is 4 ames. So if one of them has a wider opening, then he would get a wider space opposite it for 4 ames and 4 ames in the chatzar. In fact, the Gemara would. What's that have to do with 4 ames in the chatzar? Abaye says, here's what it means. I think I jumped the gun on that Rashi. It's 8 by 4 because if his entranceway would be 8 amas wide, not pictured, then he would be getting something that wide and extending 4 into the chatzar. Omar Amar Hypero Disufli. I see a mark on the side of my Gemara. It says Gittin Samach Tesama Beis, and I wonder what or why that is. Hyper Disufli Mishesh Leichafir B'Chatzah Shaisim Baigari Nate tomorrow the Michael Behema. So he has a place, it's a pit in the chatzah that they put in date pits for animals to eat. Ish Arba Amis B'Chatzah Chol Svi Vayseho. Hyper Disufli Ish Arba Amis Chol Ruach V'Ruach Le'Yomen El Dleim Yachid Le'Pescha. Assuming there isn't a specific door meant for it. Dleim Yachid Le'Pescha Shle'Yoy Pesach Etzel Chafir El Derech Pesach Beisoy Shuyetz V'Nechaz Boy Hayel Derech Lotz Etzel Chatzah V'Leich Achar Chafir Shet Neisoy Beisoy Mishtamish. That's assuming that there isn't a specific designated door that he would go through for it. But if he has a specific doorway for it, then you don't get an extra 4 ames for the period of Sufli. Here's a door there. An exedra, a portico covered opening, screen porch, doesn't get 4 ames. It's not going to get an extra 4 ames before you can keep considering stuff. Why does the house why does the door get 4 amas in the chutzner? The Gemara says, it's for unloading. And but an exedra, which is a covered area, but it's open on the sides, you can unload there. So you're not going to get another 4 amas in front of that. You're not going to be bringing donkey inside. But here, if he has an achsadra in front, well, defines Efshid Ma'ilagav Umfarek. Mesiv Rav Sheshes. If Sheshes asks as a kasha, Echad Shari Batim, Echad Shari Achsadra'ois, Yesh Landal Ramais. So it says even an Achsadra. To which Rav Huna is going to answer, that's talking about one that is walled and much more part of the house. It's like a screen porch, which happens to be, I have a diagram of, because I'm designing somebody's house. Nope, not this. Here we go. Here. Behold, an Achsadra de Beirav. Geschmack, no? Okay. Back to our Gemara. Frek the Gemara, Achsad Beirav, Pshita, that's obvious. In Droina Malyu, that's a Gavaldiga room. And in Droina, they bring on the side the Targum of Hachadra is in Droin. Vay Hachadra, Vayefk Shama, Bay Yosef, Atavay Bashevel, Melch Hachadra, Elamach Sadra, Remiyasa, the Roman type of Chadra, Remiyasa, Mukafis, Devanis, the Muchash, Magiasa, check out there's walls, they just don't reach the ceiling, period. Tanu Rabbana. I'm just looking to see how far I need to get tonight. I'm going to try to get through most of Yud Beis Amud Aleph. The entrance thingamagug, Beishar Bais Kaddish Lei Pesach Trak the Makaran Life for Kaibalaz. Meaning not the Beishar that we had before for a Chatzah. This is at the entrance to a large building. Achsadra Umar Pesas. This is the Bryce we brought before, an Achsadra or a Marpesas. Balcony entrance. Marpesas Aloyer. Aloyer. V'harbe Peschi Ali Apsuchim Leiva Kula on Island Derech Sulam Echad Shakarin Dagreid. Yesh Lahen Dalad Amais. They're going to have it. Ha, you are Ba'achim. We should bought them Psuchim Marpesas. If that balcony is a way of accessing 4 or 5 houses, how much space is available at the bottom for them? Ein then eladad amas bavad. All they get is 4 amas. So Rashi and eladad elabra amas being kulon itzaragli asulam by the feet of the ladder. Ba'am and Rabbi Yechon and Rabbi Yana ilo shatana gailim mishlad amas ein eladad amas. And Rabbi Yechon asked Rabbi Yana, if someone has a chicken coop in their yard, does that also give them an automatic 4 amas there? Ilo shatana gailim Rashi by skaj b'galim b'tana gailim v'yishlei pesach l'chotz yishlad amas b'chatzar eloi. I said to Rabbi Yechanan, time of my, what's the reason that you would get those 4 amas for free before we calculate anything else? Mishum Pirak Masai for unloading loads. That the chickens can just hop in and out. There is no intermediate loading zone, it sounds like. Rashi says Derech Reish HaKaisel. I'm not sure exactly what that means. Nachman. Rava asked of Nachman by a house which is only half roofed. Yesh lo dal amis ein lo dal amis. By chatz makura b'toch chatz yesh dal amis b'chatzar ilai. So I'm not sure exactly what this case is, and I mean I have a house here that happens to have 2 doors, but let's say it didn't. That wasn't the focus, and we're just focusing on that. It's only half roofed, and the other half is open. Does it have dalet amitz in the chutzner or not? Geschmack. Okay. So really, I should rotate the roof for this case. Now we have two options. If the roof is farther towards the back or farther towards the front. So does it have dalet amitz in the chutzner? This was the question that Rav asked Rav Nachman. But again, Rav Nachman, Bais Chetzer Mekayri, Rav Chetzer Einu Mekayri, Shalom Oilei, Ayin Le Dalet Amis. Omar Le Rav Nachman said to Rava, Ein Le Dalet Amis. It does not get 4 Amis. Let me buy it. I don't even need to say it. Kirui of Milagav. If the covering of the house, the roof, is towards the inner part, the after the Ailegavo, you mefarek. Right? You can just bring the animal in and unload it. But even if the roof is closer to the outside, you could still bring the donkey into the uncovered part, which is mistama available, and use it. Okay, let's undo that. Zokt Rashi, let me buy kiruyov milagav. That there's no need to say it if the covering is further in. The uncovered part, or bechetzi she'ena makura. Ela afilu kiruya v'tzad achotz v'giluya v'tzad pnem. Nami in like dalet amais. There's ma'ayel chamar aragiluya mafarek. Okay. Ba minei Rav Huna me Rav Ami, Rav Huna asked Rav Ami, Echa mibnei mavoish b'gish lachzer pischel mavi acher b'nei mav makvin alav ayeh makvin alav. So this is going to be talking about a guy who lives. Let's see if we can find a good example. All right. If I would take this entire mavoi with its chatzerais open to it, and instead of there being a street over here, whoops. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this over here, and I'm going to try to where is this road going? Yeah, I'm going to get rid of the oh my gosh, this road goes on for a while. I'm going to get rid of that road, and I'm going to make this mavoi kind of catty quarter to this one. And it's kind of weird. Maybe like this. So now, this chutzer over here could theoretically break in through the wall and now access a different mavoi and maybe just sort of switch neighborhoods in doing so. Rashi says, "L'mavacha gain by Spain shnei mavois. B'nei mavi makven a b'nei mavoi." So one know, can the people of this second mavoi that I just dumped here stop a guy over here from busting into their mavoi and now accessing their space, their shared area? So again, B'minei Rav Huna Meir Rav Ami B'nei Movi Bigish Achser Fischel Movi Acher B'nei Movi Ma'ak V'nalav Imak V'nalav Malay B'nei Movi Ma'ak V'nalav. He said they can stop him. Okay. Next question: Achsanya. When the king, not necessarily Jewish, is demanding people put up his soldiers. Achsanya Rashi Chel Shel Melech Hamotalav B'nei Ha'ir Losses and Achsanya B'Batei. If B'nei Adam is Chalekes, is that going to be divided based on the number of people in a household? Or if Psachim is Chalekes, or the number of doors? That sounds kind of arbitrary. Okay. Rashi. Wait. Oh, the Fibnei Adam is Chalek. That goes by the number of people. Fibnei Adam Adam Babayis. Tanya Dam Yaki. We're going to bring a riot to something to this. But from the second case in the Bryce, the first case is not. Fertilizer in the Chatzer. Who's it available for? It's divided up based on the number of entrances you have to it. But Achsanya if Ibnei Adam. Sagt Rashi, it's been chucked out the doors. Lovely. Omar Avuna, Echav B'nei Movish, V'kesh Listim, K'neged Pischoi, B'nei Movi Makvin, Alav, Shmar Ba'alei, Enes HaDerech, Zet Rashi, V'kesh Listim, K'neged Pischoi, L'Hakev, Mechitzes V'ez Taram, M'sheish Lei B'movi, K'neged Pischoi. Aha. So now, this Chatzar over here wants to close off. Here. Let's see if I can get this. Yeah. They want to close off something for Amos, opposite the entranceway to their Chatzar. They want to have this access place. I feel like this is. Oh yeah. So they want to fence this whole area off. Can the people of the Mavoi stop them? And the answer is yes, they can, because now, maybe I picked the wrong chutz. I may have picked the wrong chutzar to do this. Let's do it with this one, because now when the people from chutzar over here try to get out of the chutzar, bump, they have to go around this thing. So again. They can stop him because he's increasing how much they are going. Going from the entrance, if you have 5 chatzeres open up to a mavoi, happens to be that in my Gemara was pressing shift on the keyboard, that's why that wasn't working. If you have 5, so right now a lot of the cases here have 4 chatzeres open to a mavoi, but even those, I'm not sure if they are really working with our Gemara here, because here, I'm going to clone this chatzar, this whole mavoi, but I think in the case here, the 5 of them are like in a line like this. Meaning there's not necessarily any action going on over here. There. This might actually work. It worked. And Here, extend this wall. And let's also just, wait. Yeah, I think the simplest way to do this is to make a new wall over here for this side. And we'll just extend the entrance over here. Okay, so now we have 5 chatzeros open up to this mavoi. Okay, what's going to happen? Meisvei, we have... Wait a minute, I just want to make sure that the stuff that I'm doing on the screen is visible. Yeah, it's visible. Meisvei. Chamesh chatzeros pshuches lemavoi kol mishtamshes im achitzayna. Sagt Rashi. Chamesh chatzeros pshuches lemavoi zu yitzalzu la'arka yustam b'vois tumeneim b'seifan v'acha miktzayis pshuches harabim. Right, so it's going to be sealed on one side, which the way that we have the case going over here, it's going to be this side that the mavoi is closed off from. And one side is going to be open to the Rishos Harabim, which means I probably should rotate the whole thing so that it is open to the Rishos Harabim. Okay. Yeah, here, good. Except it's a little bit off. Okay, so now, here we go. We have 5 chatzeros. So what's the din? Kula mishtamshes b'mavoi im achitzayna. Kenegda. Sharei lekul mish derech b'mavoi letzis derech rosh shesarav v'chosh derech ish leitashma she'enim ma'akiv derech ha'mavoi. So the outermost one, the one over here, closest to us, anybody who lives in any of the chatzeros can do stuff opposite the entranceway there, as long as they're not messing up the ability of people to walk through. But the farthest, outerest one gets the area in front of its entranceway completely to itself because no one else has walking rights there. So again, I read that wrong. Achitzayna is talking about the one that is the closest to Shasar. I mean, anyone from any of the other 4 chatzeros can do stuff opposite the entrance, but it can only do, the people who live there can only use the space directly opposite it and not farther in. Vashar and the other ones, mishtamshes imashniya. The other remaining 4 can do stuff in front of the second one. Vashniya mishtameshes le'atzma mishtameshes imachitzoyna. And the second one can't go in front of the third, fourth, or fifth. It can only do stuff in front of it and the first one. Nimtzeis penimis mishtameshes le'atzma mishtameshes im galachas v'achas. So the innermost one then can do stuff in front of its entranceway and in front of all of them. Sagt Rashi. Right? Aha, fun. The way I did the diagram the first time was actually seemingly, according to the Gemara, correct, that even if the innermost one built a wall, the others could complain. Which the Gemara answers, Tanoihi, it's machlekes Tanoim de Tanya. We already spoke about this. The guy wants to switch to another mavoi. But the new mavoi can say no. If it was closed, meaning it was already built, just it had been sealed off, because the person wanted to reopen it. No, they can't stop him. So Rashi, Divrei Rabbi. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar, Aimer Chamish Chatzar Psuch Leis Lamavoi Kul Mishtam Shes B'Mavoi Zuim Zo. 5 Chatzerais over to a Mavoi. They can each use the space in the Mavoi with each other. Chatzerais Mandachar Shmayu. What? We're talking about a guy in the Mavoi trying to break through. Where do Chatzerais come from? The Gemara asks. Kul Mishtam Shen B'Mavoi B'Chol Mavoi V'Elu Chitzayin Ala Pnimi. Tosh Gemara answers, Chasrei Mechasra, V'Achi Katani V'Chein Chamish Chatzeres HaPsuches L'Mavoi, Kul Mishtam Sheis Imachitzayin. We're saying the Tanakama is one saying that the other Brisa, V'Achitzayin Mishram Shes La'atzma, B'Chulei Divrei Rabbi Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar Aimer, Chamish Chatzeres HaPsuches L'Mavoi, Kul Mishtam Sheis B'Mavoi. And he's the one saying that then that people live in even in the most innermost one would not be allowed to build something blocking off the space in front of their doorway. Amar Mar, we had said before, it was closed. There was a pre-existing entranceway, and the guy wanted to just reopen it, like we were doing over here when the guy wanted to break into another mavoi, which really, oops. We should flip it this way. And I'm not sure why the mavoi is underground. Here. So now when the guy wants to make a doorway over here to access what is going on? The guy wants to make a hole over here. Come on. Here we go. He wants to open up into the adjacent mavoi. Oh, this is not going to work. This might work. Okay, yeah, see, he made an opening out back, and now he can access this other mavoi. The people of this mavoi can stop him. But if there had been such an entryway before, but it had gotten closed off and he wants to do it, then the people of the mavoi can't stop him. And I just want to make sure that what I'm doing is visible. It looks like it is. Okay. That means that the guy got, when we said before that it was like originally open, but the guy closed it, that's assuming that it wasn't completely closed. There still was like the door frame there, I would think. So Drashi, Umashkaifai Umiftanai didn't destroy the framing of the door. Because by not removing those things, he's showing that he still cares about it. Parat Espetsimov, if he actually got rid of everything and there's like no longer a trace that there even used to be a door here, that would not be let in. So I'm a revelation of the part that's Petsimov, but Petsimov, but name of Makvinolov. Probably a Baila Rava, Baisit Rava, Tiny de Messiloch, of a Bryce, that supports what you're saying. We are now on Daf Yud Beza, Amad Aleph. Bias Sosum, a sealed house. Rashi says, Bias Sosum Shayle, Pesach Chatzar Visasma Ustama. The guy had an opening to the Chatzar from a house, but he then had sealed it off. Still, Yesh Adal Amis, he still gets 4 Amis in the Chatzar Kenegade. Yesh Adal Amis Bachalukas Chatzar in Bolach, like Kilu Haya Pasuach, Kilu Pasuach. But Paratz, as Petzimav, if the guy completely obliterated the door frame, Ain Loi Dalat Amis is not going to get it. Next case is Kevin. The Marshal seems to Oh, he gets rid of kever sasum. Bias sasum, a sealed house, ain't matame kol sevivav. It's not mitame on all sides because of the door frame that is there from a pre-existing door that had been sealed. But parats as petzimov, if he obliterated all remnants of a door frame, now the tumah is all around it because there is no pesach to channel the tumah. Amar Rabba bar bar Chana Amar Rabbi Yochanan Mevuais Hamfulash Eister Acharas. Whoa, you have a mavoi open up to a different city. Ubikshu b'nei Er l'Saisman, the people of that city want to block it. There Acharas Derech Er Acharas Ubikshu b'nei Er Shamavuais Ba l'Saisman Me'acharayim. The people who live in the mavoi that's open to another city want to block it off with the heskim of their city. And the other city can stop them. Let me boy, we're not even saying anything. It's not even a chiddush to say that when there's no other way to go that you can say no. Even if there is another way, they can also say, no, this is a shortcut that we have rights to. A pathway that's already been, that everyone's using, you can't mess it up. And I want to know why B'nai Yisrael doesn't let us drive through as a shortcut. Amar Rav Anan Amar Shmuel. Mavoi Samfulash in the Shasarabim. Now it's a mavoi that's open to the Shasarabim on both sides. And the people who live there want to block it off. And the people in the Shasarabim can stop them because they end up going in. They used to be able to like go into those mavois. Savar mina. This is Rav Anna, name of Shmuel. Is that saying that Rav Anan thought that that's what Shmuel meant? Hanimili b'dalat amos. That's only that they can't block off the first 4 amos. Could it be Zera Amar of Nachman? Amar Zera Amar of Nachman. That the 4 amos of the Movek closest to the public area are like the public area. So it's only those 4 amos that can't block off. Hanimili take dalat amos shell. Rosh Yamavuas as Shasarabim, Akvan Milamid losses Sham, because Kishasarabim doubling Sviktum Bishasarabim, Viloi, and that's not true. Rashi Viloi, Shafili Rochlam, Limitanams Makvanale, and you can't put the doors anywhere. Hasam, that where we said is only the first 4 Amas, Indian Tuma, when it comes to this suffix Tuma Bishasarabim, Sekei Tahar, Avalachazim and the Dakim Bishasarabim, Valley Tuva, sometimes because of the squish. People from Shasarab might end up needing to back up into the chutzner, into the mavoi beyond 4 amos, and you can't stop them because that's something that they're used to doing. Okay. We had said you need to have 9 space to do 9 kav available for each of them, and who was it who argued? Rabbi Yehuda said it's half that amount. V'lei pligi, the Gemara says they don't actually argue. Marki Asrei. Each of them did it based on where they lived. Okay, and that was what it was considered to be enough. But Bavel Mai. What about in Bavel? Amar Rav Yosef, I guess right, that was Tanoim in Eretz Yisrael. Amar Rav Yosef beiradu yaima, enough to plow in a day. It's like Rashi beiradu yaima beis charisha shemachal bezevach en lezel leisacharish pergamina leisradei loserdei. My beiradu yaima. Zara trey makarba leavi makarba desire leavi. The Gemara now asks, and I think this is based on the way they did it in Bavel. What? Dr. Rashi to explain this. So there's the first plowing and then a second plowing. And the second plowing, when they're actually, when they just planted, and I think the plowing they are plowing, is that because they're just trying to kill any weeds that may have just germinated or to help the seeds be covered? That's faster than the first time where they have to break up the earth. So if it's going to be a day of planting plowing, then it's going to be more than a day for the first breaking it in plowing, but not going to be a full 2 days. So it's going to be difficult to rent oxen. And if you're saying that it's going to be a smaller amount and it's only enough to plow to do the first harder plowing in 1 day, then when he's going to be doing the planting plowing, the quicker one, that's going to be less than the day. He's also messed over. To which the Gemara gives two answers. If you want, I could say that it is the amount that we're giving is a day of the first plow. In Rashi over here, yes, so Rashi did a whole Hachi Garsin on our Gemara that, which I'm pretty sure is not like the Girsa that we have. First answer is it's a day of quick plowing the second time, but in a place where the first plowing is actually done more than once, and instead of being 1.5 days, it will be a full 2 days. And maybe it's an extended day. The day of doing it is the day of the super hard first plowing, and they don't kriv v'tani. And the problem is that you're asking that he's not going to be able to rent oxen for the second plowing because it's less than a day. Where it's just as hard as doing it the second time. Uvahaduri. And now Rashi is going to bring a different lashon, which is going to be the girsa that we have. Leshna acharina ibcha garsena. The other way to say it is to have the girsa the opposite. V'bayasema. Hey, where'd it go? Okay. According to this girsa, our answer is that it's the longer day. It's not going to be enough for the quicker plowing second time. Interesting. So it's a place where the karba is the first one that takes a while to rip up the hard earth. And then during planting, they plow again, put seeds in, and then plow again to cover the seeds with dirt, and that would take a day. The shorter day, Shirish Tariach Golo was a nervy, Mizar Avitray Amikarba, Lushan say, Hagun. Boys, Emi Desira Bahaduri. That is a Yema Desira. The carb will be a day and a half. No, it's super hard. And carba takes 2 days. Davla. Zakt Rashi Davla Mishlan. Borshmedu Mashkin Sada. If there is a well that they can water their field from, and they want to split it, can they demand a division? Can one of them do that? Amar Rav Nachman, as long as there's enough for each of them to draw on it for one full day, and there's enough. Because also hiring workers. Paradesa, an orchard. Paradesa Karam, Rashi says a vineyard. Amar Avua de Shmuel. Shmuel's father says, Bashleisha, Kabin, 3 Kav, Gimel Kav, Lekolechel, Vicheshbin, Sosam, Kechatzer, Mishkan. That's weird that Rashi didn't say this yet. Meaning, I would have expected Rashi says at the very beginning of the Sugya. I'm telling you a portion in the vineyard. Sumcha says the minimum is 3 kav, which goes very nicely with what Shmuel's father says. That is prophetic. Meaningless. And we're just going to let him say that and move right on, even though we're going to talk about Nevi Levav Chachma in the next Amud, right? But Bavel Mai, what about in Bavel? Amarava Bar Kasna Tlas Atze Isa B'nei Tresar Gufni. Three vineyard units, and each unit would have in it 12 vines, so that would be 36. Utsisa call Yud Beis Kafanim Kari Aitzia. Enough for a person to dig in one day, and again back to the renting by day. Terafik Aider. Nevi Levav Chachma. It's not the next Amud. It's already right here, and it's going on. Ein ela divrei nevuah. Rabbi Avdimi from Haifa said, ever since the destruction, nevuah was taken from the prophets and given to the wise. Atu chacham lav navi who? But a chacham can't be a navi. He's like Rashi nitla nevuah. From the Amar Leila El, ain't elu el divin neviah shakar divin chacham nevuah nokat la lahamilsa to chacham lav navi ovchi and chacham really is navi to Amar mar nitla navi and nitla chacham v'chal demi karla es nevuah chachamim. No, hachik Amar. Af al pish nitla minan neviah minan chachamim even though prophecy is no longer accessible to the prophets, but the wise can still access it. Hachik Amar Rashi al pish nitla minan neviah she'enam chachamim minan chachamim lo nitla. Amar Ameimar v'chacham adav minavi, and a chacham is greater than a navi. Shenemar v'navi levav chachma. Minis lebemi. Minis lebemi. Who do you compare? Have you ever cut in this lebegal? We're going to compare something smaller to something greater. That a navi either means bringing to or prophecy a heart of wisdom. Amar Abaye says, Teda, you should know. Teda Chachamim, that the wise have access to something similar to prophecy. Domer Gavar Abba Milsa. So a great scholar will say something on his own, and it will be heard that another great scholar said such a thing. Kivase. Amar Rava said, "My kusha." What does that mean? That it's prophetic? It just means that they're in the same zone mentally. Maybe they're both like the same, like sign, the same style. The way you would know it is because a great scholar will say something. You can't say someone else who's his style because Rabbi Akiva was a much greater scholar. Omar Rav Ashi said to this thing of Rava, which was itself a question on Abaye. Teda, here's how you know El Omar Rav Ashi. Oh, Omar Rav Ashi, my kusha, Dilma Laham Milsabar Mazaleo. Maybe for that one thing, he was in the same vibe as Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva, say, yeah. Someone says something, and you discover it's halacha Moshe Sinai. Maybe it's like a blind person stumbling across the entrance. V'lav, to which the Gemara shoots back. V'lav tam kamar. What is he not giving a reason for it? V'lav tam kamar b'milsa. If it came to Amar time, and zekasum mishmachavin lebaruba b'mikra b'alma elos varas alefi shba'alei b'nevuah v'zachal haskam alachal Moshe Sinai. All right. Today is really, what we're doing is Yud Gimel, but Yud Gimel is short enough. Really, we should get up to the Agadita. It looks like it's relatively simple. Ever since the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash, Nevuah after the Churban is gone from the prophets, and now who has it? The Shaitim, I would say, the insane and the children. L'shaitim will be an example of that. Rav Ashi's son Mar. He was standing in the Mechozuin Beristika, Shukash Sarabim, who's in public there at the mall. He heard a man who was mentally unstable. The Amar was saying, Rish Misivta de Malech. Hashta b'mata machasya. The Rosh Yeshiva is going to be chosen in Mata Machsya Tivyomi Chasim. He signs his name Tav Yomi. The Malach like Rashi. Hashta b'mata machasya Shasali as Rosh Yeshiva Achshav Tivyomi Chasim, which has to be Garis Chasim Shmai Tivyomi. Omar Rashi is like Man Chasim Tivyomi B'Rabbanon. No, wait, I'm the one who does that. Shmami no Didi Kaimli Shaita. This is a sign that it's to be a scholar of fortune. Come asa. He got up and came. Ad asa, before he came there, though, imnu rabbanan leisveiler of achami difti b'reisha. They thought they were going to make of acha from difti be the Rosh Yeshiva. But came into Shame to asa. Oh, Marbar Vashi's here. Shah the zuka the rabbanan legabe limluchibe. They sent a pair of rabbis to him to ask his opinion. Really, they want his approval to make up Achar Shiva. Akvino, he delayed them. Hadar Shagor. So they sent another pair. Akvino, Gabe, he delayed them too. Adamalu be'asara, until there were 10 of them. Once there were 10 sages there, he started letting out drushes. Why did he wait for 10? When you're starting the official drasha, you're going to need 10 for it. Pasach v'tana zak Rashi drush v'naseh reishei yeshiva. He began darsing and just memela. He ended up in that role. Oy Rav Acha, Kari Rav Acha nafshe kol amriyan loy, loy kol amriyan loy loy b'meir mativin loy. Things that go bad for someone, it's not. The wheel's not going to turn for a while. Chol mativin loy loy b'meir amriyan loy. When things are going good for someone, bad is not going to happen anytime soon. Kol amriyan loy kol amriyan v'nidcha shalei amlichuni oid. I lost. What does that mean that Nevuah is given to children? The Basra of Chista's baby daughter was sitting in her father's lap, Kanfe arms. I love this story. Rava and Rami Bar Chama were sitting there. Omar La, Rav Chista said to her, as a joke, I think, Mami Nayabayas, which one of these rabbis do you want to marry? Amra Le, she said, Tarvayu, I'll take both of them. Amar Rava, Mano Basra, Rava said, I'll go last. Is there a thesis about this, about a kayan? I think I saw somewhere that, I don't know, someone was a kayan, and therefore Rava didn't want to go first. I'm not sure exactly. Zok the Gemara weiter. Oh, v'chein hava, and that's what happened. Amar avavdimi. V'amar avavdimi to bin Chaifa. Oh, is he the one who didn't become Rosh Yeshiva? No. That was Rav Achami Tifti. So where did Rav Dimi Dimin Chaifa come up? He's the one who said that Nevuah has gone to the insane and the young. The Amar Rav Dimi Dimin Chaifa Kaidim Sheikh Allah Adam v'Yishta. Before someone eats and drinks, he has two hearts. Rashi? No Rashi. I mean, I think that he's just distracted in all directions. After eating and drinking, he's settled. Shenemar ish navuv yilavev. Ish navuv, a hollow person. Kushu cholo blekaris malaya. He's empty. Yilavev kam levavish enemaskin ladas shlema. Uchsiv navuv luchais. The mizbeach was made hollow out of planks framing it. The Targum is that it was made out of hollow planks. And now he is, when he's navuv, when he's empty of food, yilavev, he has multiple hearts, meaning it's like all over the place. Even if someone's heart is thick, sealed, but wine will help open it. Shenemar v'siraish yinoivev b'sulais. Yinoivev b'sulais leiv atam k'b'sulais. Oisen navuv v'chalul. All right. Shkayach. So tomorrow will be another finishing up your base and doing your gimel and being completely caught up. Shkayach, all of my faithful viewers.